Hello, welcome everybody. This tutorial is part of a series of short videos where we'll be showing the main capabilities of civilFEM. This time, we're going to work on the Geometry tab, specifically on the curves. Okay, for each model, the first step that we have to make is check the units. This time, we're going to work with the principal units in the international system. Okay? Now let's go to the Geometry tab. The first thing that we have to make in this session is draw points. Okay? For drawing points, we press the point button. Remember that we have the entity windows, okay, and we have the properties window. Let's say we have a P1, okay, with its coordinates 0, 0, 0, okay. We press this button, it's okay and new, because we want to continue drawing points. If we don't want to continue drawing points, we press OK and we finish this operation. This time we're going to press here. The point is created. Now let's say that we have P2 and we're going to have, for example, 5, 5 and 10. Okay, and new. You write 3. Seven. 12. And 8. And before. 15. 17 and -5. Okay, we press here and we have all the points drawn. Now for watch the configuration of all the joints, okay, we go to the View tab, press the Extend button, okay, and now we can see the all points that we have created, okay, the 4 points. Basically, if we press the mouse right click button and move the mouse, we can rotate the area of work here. Pressing again the right button of the mouse in the center of the global axis will return to the original configuration. Okay. Another way to make points is using the referenced option. Okay, so here we determine if the created geometry is referred to other objects or elements. If we check here, okay, let's say that we want to draw another point. Select here, and we have the referenced option activated. Let's say we want to make the point 5, and the reference point is going to be the point 1, and it's going to be in the x direction 5 meters. And now this point is created based on the original coordinates of the point P1. Sorry. Now we're going to draw the lines as we did with the points. We press here, okay, and now that we have activated the reference option, let's say we're going to draw line L1, and the first point is gonna be P1, the second point is gonna be P2, for example. Okay, I knew. Here we have the creation of the line L1. Let's run another one. L2, the first point is gonna be point 2 and 3. Okay, now we have these lines created. As easy as that. We also, if we deactivate the reference option, if we want to make a line, we have to define the coordinates of P1 and P2. Okay. Now we activate again the reference option, and let's draw an axis. We have the axis because sometimes when we want to make a volume extruding or making an extrusion from a surface, we have to make a line where the propagation of the volume it's gonna be. Okay, so we define an axis, but we will be using this tool later or in the next section. Let's say axis. The origin point it's gonna be P1, okay, but now the direction it's gonna be upward or Z direction. Okay, let's say we want to make an axis 5 meters long. Okay, and we press OK. Now we have our axis created. I'm gonna erase here these lines. Okay. Now, if we select and these points in the entity windows, and we press the shift button and we press from the P1 to P5, all the points are selected. We also can select the points by dragging the cursor, and we made the same operation. Okay, we go in here, they are selected. Okay, once we select the points, a new tab, our geometry tool tab appears, and we select the names. Now we have the names for P1, P2, P3, P5, and P4 over here. Okay, let's draw a polyline. The polyline, we give the name poly 1, for example. Okay, so we're going to start. We have to define here the first point, which is going to be point 1. Then we can go selecting the other points. Okay, and press OK. And our polyline is created. Okay. We also can draw a polyline as a regular polygon. Okay, let's see how it works. Let's say poly 2 in the name, and the center it's gonna be P2. It's okay. The axis, normal vector, it's gonna be this. We also create this vector, and the radius is gonna be, for example, 5 meters. And let's say we want to have, instead of 5 sides, we want to have six sides. And we press OK, and the polygon is created. So when we check the circumscribed option, it means that it's inside a circle. Okay, and if we uncheck, now it is inside, and we check, it's outside of a represented circle. Okay. A good option here is that we can modify, if we check here in the entity window, we can modify the coordinates. For example, the P1, I want to put it maybe 2 meters up in the y-axis, and it is modified here. So you write back to 0. Okay. And it goes back to the principal position, to the first position. Now we're going to work with the spline. Let's explain a little bit what a spline curve is. For making a spline, the user or we can enter a sequence of control points, and a spline curve is created passing through them. To change the shape of this polynomial curve, 2 parameters can be modified, such as the degree that we have here and the continuity that we have here. What is degree? What is continuity? Degree of a polynomial corresponds with the highest coefficient that is non-zero. Degree 0 is for constant, 1 for linear, 2 quadratic, a degree cubic, and so on. And the continuity describes the smoothness where the curves join, such as parametric or geometric continuity. Okay, let's make a little example here for showing what we want to make. Okay, let's say this is the name spline. The degree, it's gonna be 3, 8, and the continuity, it's gonna be 2, a parametric continuity 2. Okay, in the same way we have to define the first point, it's gonna be point 1, then we select point 2 until point 5 and click OK, and our curve is drawn. Look at, so our control points are P2, P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, and the line passes through all those points. And for example, if I want to make a degree 4, it doesn't change so much. Degree 5, 6, okay, look at the change. Degree 8, okay. So, but let's say that we want to have a degree 0, a constant, and a degree 1 as the maximum. So you see that the line passes through those points, and but it can't pass around all the points. So for passing over all points, the minimum degree has to be at least 1 and the maximum degree 2, and we have a polynomial curve on second grade. Okay, here we have there, and by changing the continuity we have the smoothness of the curve. Okay, and where we were in C2. Okay, let's see what is a Beizers curve. Okay, a Beizers curve, it's a curve that it approximates to a point, but it passes through the first and the last point created. Okay, let's see. For example, we have Bezier curve, and we say the name is Bezier. Okay, and we select the same as we did with the spline curve, P1. Okay, and we select P2, P3, P4, and P5. We'll say OK, and now we see that for the configuration it approaches over these points. Let's work on the circumference or ellipse. And basically we have several options for making the circumference, such as defined by the center and the radius, defined by 3 points, by center and 2 points. Okay, let's go and deactivate here and make the arc, excuse me, the circumference. Okay, let's say that is SUR1, sorry, SUR. Let's say that is SUR. The center is going to be 0, 0, 0. The normal vector. Let's say that we have, if what happens, let's see what happens when we press 1, 1, and 1. And the radius is going to be 10 meters. Okay, and we press OK. And what we have here, our circumference, it's done. And now, if we select an ellipse, for example, the center is gonna be 0, 0, 0. Normal vector is gonna be, let's say it's upward direction, and direction of the major axis it's gonna be in x. The radius is gonna be 5 meters, and the minor radius is gonna be 2.5. So now we have our ellipse here created. Okay, so basically we can see that it's very easy drawing our curves, and we have a great variety of curves for drawing and for carrying out our models. Okay, well, until here we finish with the geometry tab using the curves and points. Thank you very much for attending, and see you the next time.